you know, we started seeing success, and then now there are a whole lot of so-called female-centric films being made, which is fantastic, and they're doing well. So it only widens the scope that much more. But I think it's also about timing, Anu. In all fairness, I think we were ready to tell women's stories. We were ready to watch women take center stage on screen, like we are in the rest of the world, you know, in various professions and various walks of life. So I think so I was at the right place at the right time. And I think that hunger just made sure that when an opportunity came my way, I went at it like a tigress on the prowl.
You know, Tara has no glamour. Okay, Tara has no romance. Her love affair is with
Science,
space, with
yeah.
science, with her career, right? And I was just thinking as I was watching it, did you see it as a risky role, and did the presence of Akshay sort of provide some kind of a security blanket?
Oh, it did, for sure, you know, because my fear with a subject like this is that it could get dry, it could get boring, it could get monotonous, heavy. But one, there was Balki. So I've worked with Balki, and I know that Balki has a certain, you know, in his writing, there's a certain relatability and there's a certain inherent humor. And Jagan has got this great sensibility which is in between what you'd call typically artistic and art and commercial, sorry.
Yeah.
So I felt good about that, and then Akshay was the icing on the cake, because I knew that he would bring in also his brand of humor and make it that much more accessible. You know, so I think in terms of that, there was definitely, it felt like, you know, some sort of security. But I wasn't worried about.
You never think like that. You don't say कि यार मेरी costumes क्या है?
नहीं.
Love affair तो कुछ है ही नहीं. That husband was just cribbing the whole time.
I found the track lovely, you know,
yeah.
because I see people around me, and I know that this is a very real relationship, you know. People, there is invariably the woman is shown as the one who's nagging and cribbing, and I found it quite sweet and amusing that here it was a man who had a problem with everything, you know. So first that was like turning things on its head, and she was unapologetically passionate about. So I don't think of, no, I didn't think that it was a risk. I don't even think it crossed my mind, you know, because the primary focus here was on her being the scientist. And this was like the, you know, not the periphery, the other part of her life, which gave it that little cushion, you know, but primarily she's a scientist.
You know, you spoke about relatability. So one of the scenes that was most relatable for me was that opening, right? She's cooking, the help hasn't come, everybody needs stuff, they won't even come there to serve themselves. I mean, every woman in the history of mankind has had that emotion and that experience, right? It doesn't matter whether you're a working woman or you're staying at home, whatever it is, right? But I was just thinking, it is a relatable situation, but something about you makes it even more relatable. Vidya, you always feel like one of us.
Thank you.
How
That's
do you
a
do
lovely
it?
compliment.
How do you do it?
I think I am. I don't know how to say this. I don't want it to come across. I am one of you. You know, I belong to the real world, and I think that's what it is. And I'm constantly observing. I'm constantly absorbing. You know, and I come from a middle class family. So I've seen my mother juggle. I know that, you know, she's passionate about Carnatic music. She's learnt music for years. But she'd have a concert in the evening. You know, we have these annual functions at our music school. And even if she was singing in the evening, she'd make sure that she was doing everything until the moment she left, making sure that she'd even prepared dinner. I've seen these things play out. Now, my sister's a working woman, and I see her do that. She has twins, you know, who are 8, and they're very demanding. And because she's a working woman, I think she's spreading herself thin all the time. So she's, of course, she's in advertising, and it's extremely demanding, and she's doing all that she can, as in she enjoys her job. But on the weekends, she's trying to be, trying to make up for those 5 days when she may have come late 1 day or 2 days, you know, plus being the wife, plus being the daughter, plus being the sister and the daughter. And I'm like amazed, you know, she has a pitch. But yeah, I'm talking about day before yesterday, she was taking up their homework, you know, and in between she'd go and take a call, speak to someone from her team, come back and say, okay, so, and I was like, this is it, no, it's happening all around us. So I think,
but Vidya, you've been famous for 14 years now. How has that not changed?
But I do
the every woman thing about you.
I don't know. I do everything pretty much myself. I'm very grateful I have people taking care of the house, and you know, I don't have to cook and all of that. These are perks. You know, I don't have to go and shop for vegetables. But I'm very hands-on, yeah. I like to get into everything. I'm completely in charge of the house. Thankfully for me, Siddharth's also very particular. So we're both taking care equally, but I'm a little more, I've got OCD. So, you know, and the people I'm surrounded by, I think, are still they're real, regular, non-film, non-stars people.
So you never have moments of arrogance? इतना सोचना पड़ता है.
No.
This is like मुन्ना भाई ना, मैंने झूठ बोला था 19.
No, arrogance as in, I find arrogance
It's a bit like, I'm a star types.
I think when I step out and people come up to me and all, I enjoy that.
Yeah.
If I'm in a bad mood, maybe I get a bit, no, but arrogance is very off-putting for me. So I don't think I ever see myself as arrogant. I don't think I'd like myself.
If you were that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The other thing I found amazing was that you could make a joke about your weight in this film.
Yeah.
You know, the lack of vanity is amazing, and I remember thinking about that with the dirty picture.
Right.
I remember thinking of how sorted you were about being unattractive on screen.
Right.
You know, they were like, you could see fat, and they would. You were filmed like that because that character was in a very bad place.
Yeah.
When did you arrive at this place where you could be anything that character needs you to be without thinking about mere baal aise hain? I mean, in this film, your hair's all over. You know, you're just trying to get shit done.
Yeah, exactly. I think you know, I've growing up, because I was a big girl. I think I grew up feeling unattractive. So and then of course when I, you know, matured into being a woman and everyone started saying, oh, beautiful and attractive and everything, I felt great about it. But I realized therefore that it's very, you know, I can be this and that. I don't have to be, I can be whatever my character requires me to be, but that's not a judgment on me, the person.
Right.
There's
a difference.
There's a difference. Yeah. That's the person off camera is Vidya. The person on camera in a film as a character is not me. So it doesn't matter what I have. I remember in Kahani 2, Shujoy wanted my skin to be really dry and he just wanted me to be very unkempt. And he kept saying, listen, yeah, I'm sorry, I'll make up to you in the next film. I said, are you mad? I'm loving this. You know, I think it's also the joy of creating another person. You know, of literally living another person's life, of inhabiting that person's world and feeling like, wow, I can also do this. I think it's a high for me.
Right.
So I don't think of it in film. I'm never bothered about how I'm looking. If I'm meant to be looking nice, then I will, but I never look into the mirror. You know, I have my team, I've had my team with me forever. They take great care of me. Plus, I trust the people I'm working with. I never go to the monitor. I think there was a time when I felt very, very ugly. And then I came to accepting myself the way I was, and I realized that I'm fine. You know, someone might find me ugly, but someone else